Hi, my name is Ann Douglas. The purpose of this video is to persuade my audience to believe that JonBenet Ramsey was murdered by her parents, John Ramsey and Patsy Ramsey. December 26, 1996 is when this took place. It's been many years since this has passed. It was horrific crime, and the killers are still out there. The case was never solved. It's a cold case. Every time I think about this, it tears me up just thinking that this little girl was murdered and nothing was done about it. Nobody has been brought to justice. A case, no one was even charged. Okay? So the night before the little girl was found murdered, the parents had went to a neighborhood party, some of their friends. According to them, they come home, they put the son and daughter to bed, they go to bed themselves. The next morning, they go into JonBenet's room and they find her missing and a ransom note. Now, about this ransom note. The ransom note is one of the main pieces of evidence to me because it doesn't sound right at all. The kidnapper asked for $118,000 for the return of their daughter. $118,000 is the exact amount of John Ramsey, who's the father, his annual bonus with his job. Chances of that, think about it. It's like the lottery, right? So anyways, in the note, they also said that they advised them to be arrested. I don't know about you, but kidnappers usually don't care if you're arrested or not. They just want their money. That's it. So also with this $118,000 thing that they were asking for, if you think about it, that's an off number. Not only is it his annual bonus amount, but it's an off number. People ask for 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, but to ask for 118,000 when you could have notched it up even to 120,000, that's a big coincidence. So they also said that they would call the next day at 10 a.m. to discuss where to meet, how to deal with handing over the money and getting the girl back. And according to investigators, 10 o'clock came and left, and they were in the house with the Ramseys, and the Ramseys didn't even realize that 10 o'clock was there. They were busy talking to their friends and family that they had called over there with them to hang out while investigators are there. They were also looking through mail, talking to friends, stuff like that. I don't know about you, but I'm not looking through my mail if my daughter's missing. It's just not happening. Well, like I said, 10 o'clock came and left. Investigators were the ones worried about the time. If my kid is missing and they tell me they're calling at 10 o'clock, I'm setting alarms. I'm sitting by the phone. I'm not leaving the phone. I'm not going to be going through mail and talking to people. I'm waiting for that phone to ring. Anyways, the next big thing about this case. The father goes down to the basement while police are there. He comes back up holding his daughter. He found her dead in the basement. She had been tied up hands and feet. She had duct tape on her mouth and the garrote, of course, that she was killed with. The duct tape. When they did the checks on, there was fibers found on the duct tape. When they ran tests on it, they found that the fibers that were found belonged to the mother, Patsy Ramsey's, coat that she had been wearing the night prior when she went to that party. How did her fibers from her coat get on that duct tape? That's my question. That was something that was known, and we really didn't hear much about that when this case was being ran on TV over and over. They didn't talk about the fibers that much. That's one of the things they should have been talking about. Now, the garrote that was made, the stick that was used to hold it, and it's a piece of rope tied to a stick. That stick came off of the mother's paintbrush. She had a bucket of paintbrushes in the house that I guess she did artwork with. The stick came off of one of her paintbrushes. It was broken off and used to strangle the daughter. So that's another big thing. Next big thing is, while investigators are in the house before they found the daughter, is they caught Mr. Ramsey, John Ramsey, they caught him on the phone He was trying to make plans for him, Patsy Ramsey, and their son Burke to fly out to Atlanta that night. Investigators had to tell them that they cannot leave. So you're not going to have to tell me that I can't leave if my daughter's missing. I'm staying there. In fact, I'm not only staying there, I'm not going to be in the house. I'm going to be out seeing if there's anything I could do, asking people, did they see anything, going to neighbors, doing things like that. They never did this. They never left the house. Coroner. When they did the autopsy, they found that John Benet Ramsey had been sexually abused the night prior. I guess the parents are saying it must have been the people who killed her. No. The coroner also found that there were prior signs of sexual abuse. So that little girl had been sexually abused for a while. And chances are it was happening in her home. That's my idea anyways. That's what I'm thinking. So also investigators, they said that the parents refused to take a polygraph the entire time. They never took a polygraph for this horrific crime. Also, they did not cooperate very much with investigators or police. They refused to do an initial interview. They refused a lot of things. Now, looking at this case and looking at the evidence that I just gave you, you have to see that something's not right. But I guess there wasn't enough to charge them. To me, the fiber alone found on the duct tape and the fact that one of her paintbrushes was used, that's enough to charge. And it could have been enough to convict if they would have actually taken it to court and done what they should have done. But for some reason, they didn't do it. So let me get to my sources. My sources are shadow.gov. That's where I got a lot of my information from. It's actually a really good site to look at if you want to look up this case. There's more on there than I mentioned. dailyexpress.com, westernslopewatchdog.com, newyorktimes.com, and dailymail.com. I'm going to end this by saying that somebody should have been brought to justice for the murder of this little girl. It was here all over the news. That's all we heard about for the longest time. And then the case just dropped. It's like everybody forgot about her. It's like nothing happened. They need to be brought to justice. The mother's gone, but John Ramsey is still alive. He's living his life, and he's free to kill again. All right. Thank you for listening.